All right, so the next story I want to go over is by Variety, in Variety. Okay. George Lucas backs the Disney board and CEO Bob Iger amid proxy fight. Creating magic is not for amateurs. That line, and I heard about this. I didn't read the article yet. I have not read the article. I saw it on Twitter that he said this, and I was like, what is he talking about? What is George Lucas talking about? Okay, creating magic is not for amateurs. Does he forget? Does he forget where he came from? Right? He went against the major corporations because they wouldn't give him a shot or fund what he was doing because he was an amateur. Okay? And then he made a whole career, like a whole industry based off of the technology and stuff that he created, and then made Star Wars and one of the best brands ever in existence. But yet, creating magic's not for amateurs. There's a whole independent story area of independent filmmakers that would disagree. Okay? Oh, my God. All right, so Star Wars mastermind George Lucas and Disney's the largest individual shareholder, has come out in a statement supporting Disney's board of CEO Bob Iger, urging Mouse House investors to reject bids by two activist investor groups to take seats on the media company board. Okay? It all comes down to the money. Because you got to remember, they paid $4 billion, but they didn't give him that in cash. That was mostly in stock options stuff, right? So creating magic is not for amateurs, quote. Lucas said in a statement released on Tuesday, "When I sold Lucasfilm just over a decade ago, I was delighted to become a Disney shareholder because my longtime admiration for its iconic brand of Bob Iger's leadership." Is he senile right now? Hold on a second. Is he senile right now? I have to find this. I think he's senile. Okay? Because Hold on.
I loved them. I created them. I'm very intimately involved in them, and obviously to
and
sell
you
them
sold
off.
them.
I sold them to the white slavers that take these things and
Okay.
Hey everyone, welcome to Disney.
I sold them to the white slavers. Okay? White slavers. This is the same man who was just a few years ago was upset because he didn't like what they were doing. They wouldn't take his scripts for 7, 8, and 9. They shut him down. He's upset because these are his kids. Okay? These are his kids. Star Wars is his kids. And yet, for some strange reason, now he says creating magic is not for amateurs, which, okay, cool. But I was delighted to become a Disney shareholder because of my long admiration for its iconic brand and Bob Iger's leadership. If that's not a load of bullshit, I don't know what is. Okay? Lucas continued, quote, "When Bob recently returned to the company during a difficult time, I was relieved. No one knows Disney better. I remain a significant shareholder because I have full faith in the confidence in the power of Disney and Bob's track record for driving long-term value. I have voted all of my shares to Disney's 12 directors and urge other shareholders to do the same." Well, I have a question. Does George Lucas know that Bob Iger got rid of 80% of his stock? Does he know that? Does he know that Bob Iger loaded off of his stocks? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't know that. Under Iger, Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012 for $4 billion, a deal under which Lucas received 37.1 million Disney shares. Lucas, who had funded the company in 1971, was also estimated net worth of $7.9 billion per the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, and he's the Disney's largest individual shareholder, according to the source familiar with the company. Okay, let me read that part again. Lucas, who had founded the company in 1971 and his estimated net worth of $7.9 billion per Bloomberg Air Index. Okay. As Disney 2024 annual shareholder meeting to be held virtually April 3rd, investors will vote on a rival board candidate slates. Disney owns 12 membership lineups. Nelson Peltz, trans partner, 2 nominees, Peltz and executive Disney CFO Jay Razlou, or 3 from investing firm Blackwell's Capital. Peltz, for one, has argued that Disney's stock has underperformed and the market and the company needs to adopt and execute more urgent strategies to drive sustained profitable growth. Lucas commented on the creating of magic is not for amateurs may be a reference to Disney's point that Peltz has admitted in that has no media experience. Now, if that's what he's talking about, cool. Okay, but at the same time, does he know who Peltz is? Does he know because he has no media expertise himself that he's not allowed to? Now, if this is the case, now we just did a story about Ryder being in the writer's room that knows nothing about Star Wars, but yet there's people that are in a company that, you know what I mean? We're okay with this person being in here running Star Wars or writing for Star Wars, but we're not okay with this person being in a media company that's never run a media company. Man, the hypocrisy goes real quick, okay? Now, the filmmaker's statement comes as Disney has one other supporters of the board fight. On Monday, independent proxy voting advertiser Glass Lewis issued a report recommending Disney shareholders vote for Disney's 12 director nominees. Now, last month, the grandchildren of Walt Disney World and his brother Roy Disney issued open letters criticizing the activist investors' campaigns threatening to shake up the Disney board and threw their support behind Iger and the current board. Right? So, let's be honest here. All of this stuff is political. It doesn't matter if it's the president of the United States or if it's the board of directors of a multi-billion-dollar company. Okay, so Disney last week released the strongest retributal to Peltz to date in a video they called "Proxy Fight Being Waged by Train, Disputive and Destructive," said to Peltz. Yes, also seems more about the vanity and the belief in Disney. Why else would they sell 50,000 Disney shares over the past 6 months in the middle of his proxy fight? Okay, imagine that. Okay, Iger sold 500,000 Disney shares over the past 6 months. Amazing. Amazing. The comments of George Lucas saying, not for amateurs. I don't care what field it is, okay? If he's talking about Peltz being an amateur, doesn't know anything about media, or him saying that filmmakers are not amateurs as well. Like, this happens all around. Amateurs become professionals, and they have to practice and keep going. Okay. Now there is a minor league level, and then there's a professional level. And amateurs that are in the minor league levels are not really amateurs; they're professionals. It's really hard to get up to that point to play ball with the other professionals. Now, if he was taking that statement and putting it towards Peltz as the media guy, cool. But if he's saying that creating magic is not for amateurs, that's bullshit. Because creating magic and artists all the time, right? Some of the best things I've seen in the last decade, okay, come from passionate fans. People that are not professional movie directors or producers, okay? They just made a student film or made a fan film, and it blows the water out of most of the stuff that's coming out of main Hollywood. So to say that creating magic, and that's what gets me a little confused on who's he saying it to. Creating magic is not for amateurs. Well, what Disney's doing is they're not creating magic. Okay? They're not creating magic. At least the board of directors is not creating magic. The people that work for Disney and the Imagineers and stuff like that, they're making magic. The upper management's not making magic. They're making deals. Right? Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that, well, first, George Lucas, one, he's bought and paid for, right? Saying on one hand that he's in full display of he loves Iger, but yet says that he was sad because it was his children and he sold it to the white slaves. Or do you think that this is what he really believes? I think he's bought and paid for. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Again, let me know what you think. And if you like what we do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching.